What's happening, guys? Anthony Tackett. I'm here in my main garage with another VG200 by Vent-a-Garage. I want to install this today and take you guys along with me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so if you remember from a while back, I already did a video on the Vent-a-Garage. I put one in my shop and I've loved it, and I've noticed lately that my two-car garage up here has been getting kind of warm, so I wanted to go ahead, purchase another system and install that. Unboxing is very straightforward. The top just lifts up like this, and this is about as close to frustration-free as I imagine you can get with packaging. There's no packing foam or anything like that. Everything's just neatly organized in this box. So you've got your hardware. This is the coiled power cable and the thermostat that mounts on the garage door. The two fans. And these are the shrouds that go on the inside and outside of the door. And instructions. Just a quick tip before I get going. I've laid out all the parts and kind of grouped them together by type. I've quickly skimmed through the instructions to see what I need. And I've also done that with the tools I have over here. I've got extra bits, extension cables, rulers, all the things I think I might need for this project. And since I've done this once before, I kind of have an idea. And I also have a power drop for the corded drill ready to go. So hopefully this will go pretty smooth. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go and mark for my 4 holes. Now I'm going to use a 4.5-inch hole saw that I mentioned earlier to drill these out. You can mark it out. There is a template that comes in the box that you can use to draw a circle, then use a jigsaw or something. But I did that last time. It's much messier and the hole saw should be much cleaner. So I'm going to take a large ruler, go corner to corner on these decorative panels. I've made sure there's nothing on the back side, so I'm clear to drill these out. Draw my diagonal, and that'll give me the center point of this square, and then I will go ahead and move on to the next step. Okay, now that I've got everything marked out, I have an awl that I'm going to use with a rubber mallet, and I'm going to go ahead and do a punch in the center of these so that it'll give me a good place to start my hole saw. Now that I've got that marked, I'm going to go ahead and drill these out. I don't think I'm going to go all the way through. I'm going to get the tip of this pilot bit through, and then I'll come through on the other side and clean up the hole. I'm going to go get eye protection. One thing to note is that as you're drilling this out, make sure you try and keep your drill as perpendicular as possible. We want to make sure that drill and that bit are going straight through the garage door. That way the hole's not offset on the back side. So I was drilling through from the inside of the garage and my hole saw burned up. So I went to a hardware store and they were not very nice. They wouldn't even look up the product for me. So I came straight to Menards. So I'm going to look down and see if I can find a new hole saw to finish this up. Of course Menards has it. And they're always pretty nice to me. So thanks Menards. You're not a sponsor, but if you want to be, let me know. Now it's just a matter of rinse and repeat for the top. Okay, so the hole saw ended up being quite a lot of trouble, so I decided to switch to my Dremel, or my rotary tool, from Menards actually, and use a cutoff wheel to finish things out. I've got this cut off from outside, and I've got a hole in the garage door here. I'm simply going to line up the holes in both, and I'm tracing around as best as I can here, and I'll go to the other side and do the same thing, and then I'll cut these out. Okay, the last step as far as garage door prep is concerned is to take this template and go around, now that I have my hole drilled, line it up, square it up, and mark these 4 3/16 inch holes. And I'll do that all around. I'll go through and drill these through, and that'll allow me to kind of sandwich the... Well, I just made a mistake. I did this exact same thing the last time. You're not supposed to drill all the way through on the bottom. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and do it on both sides. The insert that goes on the bottom, on the outside, luckily the holes are in different spots, but the little vent on the back side does line up with the holes. So I'm gonna use some pop rivets to attach that, and I'll use some screws to attach this. Insert that into the hole, and you'll go around all 4 sides and use some self-tapping screws to install that. Now we do the top, and I'm supposed to drill holes all the way through up there, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll move back to the inside of the garage. Okay, so the way that this works is we will drill through on the holes that we marked with that template. That'll go all the way through. Then we feed these long bolts through, and on the other side, that's how we connect the exhaust fan and the little guard that goes on the outside of the fan. Once all that is secure, then we can come out, and we have this louvered vent cover that'll go in here, hide the head of those bolts, and we'll secure that down with some more self-tapping screws. So I'll go ahead and do everything on the outside, take you back on the inside. I'm probably not going to show you the install for this, but it simply goes back in that hole and you secure it just like you did the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead, drill these out, put these bolts through, and then we'll go ahead and move inside the garage. Hey guys, sorry I had some battery issues, but I figured I'd go ahead and grab my cell phone and show you what I've done so far. Fed through these longer bolts. That runs all the way through the door, through the fan, and then through this metal fan guard that you see here, and it's just secured with those wing nuts on the bottom. You're supposed to use self-tapping screws, but I ended up using pop rivets, and it looks okay. Okay, I'm up here by the garage door opener now. What I'm going to do is install a bracket here on the angle bracket that's coming down, and that bracket will hold the retractable power cord that comes with the Vent-a-Garage system. Now, I'm not going to hold my phone and do all of this, so let me flip to the other side, and I'll show you the hardware I'll be dealing with, and then we'll just switch over to my normal camera and you can watch me install it. So this is the C bracket that will be bolting onto that guy right there, sideways, and I have some bolts with nuts and lock washers, and there's a pin, and this is the spool, or the retractable power cable, and that will mount onto the C bracket, like so. There's a pin that'll go through right here to secure it all and allow it to swivel back and forth freely. The next thing I'm going to do is pull over the thermostat, and that'll extend the power cable from the spool, and I will attach it right here to the garage and then secure it in a few places to this arm. So now with some zip ties, I'll go ahead and secure the cable in 3 different places along this arm so that it can bend and flow back. Alright, so all that's left now is to secure the cables that are coming from the thermostat up there, right here, to the fans on each side. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll take you along with me with my cell phone. Basically, this is going to plug right there, and if there's any extra cable, I'm going to wrap it around the fan, and that'll get rid of any slack. And then I will use wire clips with some more self-tapping screws to secure the cable along the garage door panel. Okay, so the only thing that's left is to get up there, plug it in, flip it on, see if it works. Just checking these to make sure that the air is going the correct direction, and I think we are done. So that does it for this one, guys. Again, that's the Vent-a-Garage VG200 system, kind of a crude installation video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that red button below. It really does help. If you don't know much about Patreon, I do have a Patreon page, and if you'd like to support me, $1 a month would go a long way. There's a link for that Patreon page down in the description. Thanks again, guys, and have a good day.